spirit of the North Coast. This is Redwood News at 5.
Good evening and thanks for choosing Redwood News. I'm John Kennedy O'Connor. We start again this evening with the news that for the 9th straight day, a state flex alert has been issued by state officials who are again urging Californians to reduce their electrical usage. That's due to the strain on the power grid as a result of the continuing excessive heat inland temperatures. And the National Weather Service is warning the temperature in the interior of southern Humboldt could reach over 100 degrees again tomorrow, with possible temperatures above 110 degrees elsewhere in California. California's energy grid operator again issued a flex alert asking you to conserve energy daily from 4 p.m. until 9 p.m. Today and Friday to avoid the potential for rolling blackouts. The heat wave across California has remained and, as we just noticed, is not expected to cool off in the coming days. We'll have further details coming up for you in your Weather Authority forecast a little later in this newscast. Now to the latest on the Six Rivers Lightning Complex fires that continue to burn in eastern Humboldt and western Trinity counties. There's more good news to report tonight as officials say containment of the Ammon fire is now 100%, with a further increase to 81% reported for the entire complex. Despite the hot weather, there have been no perimeter growth across any of the fires as interior burning of litter and ground fuels across the forest floor is continuing. Firefighters continue to patrol the perimeter of the fire, coordinating with the aerial systems to identify the remaining hot areas near the control lines. Fire crews are working closely with local tribal leaders and forest personnel to identify the many cultural resource areas in the fire areas. Around 1,000 personnel are still working on the complex blaze. A wildfire that destroyed some homes and forced evacuations in both Placer and El Dorado counties continues to be a challenge for fire crews. Crews conducting a firing operation building lines with fire, trying to stop the mosquito fire in its tracks. CAL FIRE saying people need to prepare to leave even before those orders come in. People leaving when those orders are issued helps crews have room to move through the fire zone to do their work. The mosquito fire has charred over 5,700 acres so far. The deadly Fairview wildfire has now charred more than 19,000 acres in the last 2 days. It's been burning in Southern California. The blaze was just 5% contained as of this afternoon. Authorities say 2 family members killed in the Fairview fire appear to have been fleeing the blaze. Another family member found outside their vehicle was hospitalized. Electric provider Southern California Edison said circuit activity occurred close to when the fire started. The company isn't conceding its equipment caused the blaze. Meanwhile, officials say again that smoke activity from the Six Rivers fires is decreasing locally, and that continues to improve the general air quality. There are now no hazardous or unhealthy air quality reports for our area, although for Burt Ranch, Salyer, Hawkins Bar and Willow Creek, there could be periods of unhealthy air through midday tomorrow, but that will improve in the afternoon and the evening to moderate. Air quality conditions are reported as moderate for Hooper, Witchpeck, Bridgeville, Neeland, Gasky, Weaverville and High-Umpom. All other areas are reported as having good air quality. Now let's check in with our meteorologist Chase Ward for a first look at the other local weather conditions.
Good evening, I'm meteorologist Chase Ward. We did start off with some patchy fog this morning, but it's been mostly clear across the northern coast and across the interior valleys as well. We were tracking a few clouds just off the coast, but most of the region has been quiet and clear, but it has been hot for our interior areas. But we are expecting more sunshine tomorrow, and it's going to keep those inland areas mostly hot. But as we head into the weekend, we are expecting clouds to return, and we're starting to see a cooling trend as we head into next week. How cool will it get? I'll have more details coming up.
Thanks very much, Chase. Now, the Arcata Fire Protection District permanently reopened their third station this morning. Our Rachel Mossy joins us in the studio now to tell us about the reopening.
Thanks, John. I was there this morning as the crew in the Mad River Fire Station prepared for their first day back. A lot of hard work and time has put into this reopening, and everyone seemed really happy to be there. The addition of the third fire station allocates more resources to the Arcata Fire District. I talked to Fire Captain Tony Freeman about the newly reopened facility and how it will affect the community.
This is a big move for Arcata Fire District. They've been down to 2 stations for a couple of years now, and so having this third station opened up gives the opportunity for quicker response to the people in our community, and is going to better serve the community when there's a fire, more personnel on scene, and yeah, we're excited about having it open.
Thanks very much, Rachel, and we'll have Rachel's full report coming up in Redwood News live at 6. Now to economic news, and for homeowners and first-time buyers, there may be some worrying news tonight as mortgage rates have reached their highest level since 2008. Freddie Mac reports the 30-year fixed-rate mortgage now averages around 5.9%, up about 0.2% from the week before. The rates have been rising since the Federal Reserve began efforts to reduce inflation. The Fed does not set interest rates for mortgages directly, but it can influence them. Experts say home buyers can expect mortgage rates to stay in the range of 5 to 6% over the next few months. Staying with the economy, if you're job searching, that is, things are looking good. Even with recent layoffs in tech and retail, there are still a lot of job openings out there. A hiring spree could be a major factor in more people earning a paycheck and not needing federal assistance. The latest numbers from the Labour Department show first-time claims for unemployment benefits fell by 6,000 last week. That's the lowest it's been in more than 3 months and even lower than economists expected. Back to news in our area, the UROC Chief Judge will be featured in an upcoming documentary series by Hillary and Chelsea Clinton. The series is based on the book of Gutsy Woman and features influential women from the 21st century. The UROC Tribal Court was filmed in December and the episode will air on Apple TV this Friday. And looking ahead to this weekend, racing will make its triumphant return to Redwood Acres after a few weeks off. There's a lot of anticipation surrounding the event after CAL FIRE used the fairgrounds as a fire camp. As we've been reporting all week, this weekend's return to action will feature Fan Appreciation Night, the return of the Gunslinger Sprint Cards, as well as the Rumble in the Woods 50. With more on the schedule this weekend, here's Jim Red of Redwood Acres Raceway.
Yeah, this weekend we have a big event coming up. It's a 2-night race. We're making up our Fan Appreciation Night on Saturday. Everybody gets in free. There'll be the meet and greet where all the drivers will come out on the straightaway from 5:30 to 6, and they have all their goodies and pictures and whatnot, sign autographs. And then on Saturday night we have a big event. We have the Gunslinger Sprint Cars coming. They haven't been here since the mid-90s. They're probably the fastest cars on asphalt that exist, and it's going to be a great night.
And Maxwell Glenn will have more on the races coming up later on in sports. Coming up after this break, we'll be joined live in the studio by Jim Thomas from the City of Eureka to tell us about September's volunteer. And welcome back to Redwood News live at 5. The City of Eureka is celebrating September as Volunteer Month. I'm joined in the studio now by Jim Thomas from the Community Services Department to tell us about some exciting events that are coming up to mark the month. Jim, welcome to Redwood News.
Thank you for having me.
Really appreciate you coming in. So the City of Eureka is celebrating this Volunteer Month throughout the whole month of September. What's the idea behind it?
The idea is to support and encourage volunteers to become stewards of their neighborhood and make a positive impact on the community.
And is this something that's the first year, or have you done it before?
We haven't done this before. This marks the 1-year anniversary of launching the Neighborhood Beautification Program that the City of Eureka does. And we decided it would be a good time to try this out because of that anniversary, and also to complement Mayor Susan Siemens' Good Neighbor Week.
Yes, which is coming up also later on this month. Now, one event has already taken place. What was involved with that, and how did it go?
We went down to the boardwalk and we planted, replanted the flower pots that were existing there, and also filled up a whole trash can worth of trash. And we had 22 people in attendance, so it was definitely a success.
Oh, a great turnout. That's terrific.
Yeah.
Now, lots of events coming up. There are more planned. Let's tell us about them. The first one's on September the 10th.
September the 10th, yeah. We'll be down at Hammond Park from 10 a.m. to noon. And what we're going to work on there is improving the landscaping, replanting a planter, and then we're also going to paint a community mural, which will be really fun. It'll be all etched out, and everybody can come and just paint in and have a part of that mural as theirs.
Fantastic. Where's that going to be? On the side of a building?
That'll be on the side of the cement wall there by the basketball courts.
Oh, wonderful.
Yes.
Oh, that sounds really great. Now, next one after that is September 17th.
September 17th. We'll be down at the Wharfinger building from 9 a.m. to 10:30. And that is Coastal Cleanup Day, working with the North Coast Environmental Center as well as the California Coastal Commission, and we'll be picking up litter for that hour and a half that day, and hopefully filling up a big trash can.
I hope so too, absolutely. And then the final one for the month is September 24th.
Okay, September 24th, we'll be down at the Old Town Gazebo from 10 a.m. to noon, and that one is our last event. So we're going to work on landscaping, the flower pots there, flower beds, not the pots, and it'll be the last event. So we'll have a barbecue as well. free barbecue for those who participate, and it'll also be the announced drawing for our grand prize, which is a $200.50 gift card to Pearson's or a $25 gift card to the Carter House Inn, but that's only for people that attend all 4 events. So we're hoping that incentivizes some people to come on out and also make that positive impact.
Oh, absolutely. Well, that's a great prize. That's fantastic. Oh, great for Pearson's for donating that.
Absolutely.
And so,
Thank you to Pearson's.
The 22 people who came for the first event, they're already in for the show.
They're in there.
So what time are things starting? And they just need to show up, or do they need to register?
On the 10th, it starts at 10 a.m. to noon. On the 17th, 9 a.m. to 10:30. On the 24th, it's 10 a.m. to noon. There's no registration. Just come on down, bring good spirits and high ambition, and that's all you have to do.
Oh,
we bring all the supplies. We got everything they'll need to make it happen.
Fantastic. It's a great way for people to get involved as well.
Absolutely.
And anything attendees should know what who'd like to come along in terms of any members of the family and the supplies provided, etc.
It's a family-friendly event. We just kids do have to have a parent and a guardian with them and sign the waiver, but other than that, it's fully family-friendly, and we encourage people to bring their kids as well because it's a good opportunity for them to get involved as well.
And any supplies they need to bring, water or anything, or is that all that provided?
We have all the supplies.
Oh,
yes.
Fantastic. Well, the barbecue sounds really great. So just to recap, we've got 3 events, the 10th, the 17th, and the 24th.
Yes, free pizza on the 10th, too. I forgot to mention that.
Even better.
Got to have free pizza there.
Well, Jim, I hope it's a great success for you. It sounds like a really wonderful way of engaging with the community, so congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate
you
having us on.
No, it's a great pleasure to meet you. Thanks so much,
Absolutely.
Jim. And the weather is next. We'll be right back after this short break. As you are probably aware, Britain's Queen Elizabeth II has died at the age of 96. Recent reports of health issues were confirmed late yesterday before the announcement of her death at her home in Scotland earlier today. The longest-serving monarch in British history, over a span of over 70 years, she became a respected figure globally. Known for her sense of duty and devotion to a life of service, just 2 days before she died, the Queen carried out her last official function, appointing the 15th Prime Minister of her reign at Balmoral Castle. The Queen will be succeeded by her 73-year-old son, Prince Charles, who it appears will reign as King Charles III. Like his mother, he will be not only the head of state of the United Kingdom, but he also succeeds his mother as the king of multiple North American nations, including Canada, Jamaica, Belize, the Bahamas and Grenada. We will have a more detailed report coming up tonight live at 11. And it is remarkable to think that after 70 years it's going to be a seismic change for the British nation. Anyone really under the age of 80 will have no recollection at all of anybody else ever being on the throne. Quite a remarkable life. Thanks so much for joining us live at 5. We will be back live at 6. We'll look forward to seeing you then. Thanks so much for joining us. Have a good evening. Bye-bye.